everybody, I'm Cassandra from Craftably Ever After, and welcome back to another reveal video for the Hooking Up with Books series that I'm doing with my very good friend Caroline over at For the Love of Crochet. I will link her reveal video as well. It's a monthly book club for those of you who have recently joined, maybe are not aware what the Hooking Up with Books entails. It's like a monthly book club that we decide on a book. Every month, the book club runs normally from the 15th of the month to the 15th of the next month, and we read a book. Either myself or Caroline suggests a book that we've read before or that we really want to read, and we've also included some books from viewer suggestions because a lot of you guys have joined us. So even if you don't make a project from the book, now this is the second part of the book club. So apart from reading the book, we also try and make a project, a crochet project from the book that's inspired by the books, maybe a character from the book or an element of the book, a color from the book. So there's various forms of inspiration that you can use to make a project inspired by the book that we've read that month. So this is very fun. So both Caroline and I, we love reading. It's just something relaxing to do in between, because honestly, I could crochet for hours and hours on end. Now, sadly, as with a lot of you as well, we do have to work for a living. So work sort of comes in between. It sort of messes up my whole system of crocheting. But even with work and crochet, I do love reading as well, and I try to fit in a bit of reading as well. So none of the books that we will do will be heavy 1,000-page books. Reading should be relaxing, and so far we've enjoyed it a lot. Now, the book that we've read this month was called Lulu's Café by T.I. Lowe. Now, I honestly did love this book. It was very heavy to start with. It does deal with some domestic violence in the beginning, but it's actually, for the most part, a very uplifting book to read. So it ends on a very positive note. It's very inspirational. It's a feel-good book once you finish it. So I'm sure it's not everyone's cup of tea, as we found with previous books. Not all books are for everyone. And we, over at Hooking Up with Books, are perfectly fine with that. We know there's some books that I'm not going to enjoy. I will still read them. And we know there's some books that Caroline or you guys will not enjoy. We're still going to read it. We're still going to either watch the movie. We are still taking part in the process. It is something we are all doing together. And I, for one, am loving it. So this month's book, just all I wanted to say, I really enjoyed it. Really uplifting book for me to have ended with. And our next book, but I will talk about that once I'm done with the projects. Let me get to the project that I did for this month's Hooking Up with Books. Now, there was actually a lot of elements that I could have used to make a project from. I decided again, just due to time constraints, I did not do an amigurumi. And I'm actually sorry that I didn't do one, because there was such actually a lot of nice characters, or a lot of elements that I could have translated into an amigurumi, as you will see from one of our makes from one of you guys that joined in a beautiful amigurumi project. I do have a few viewer makes that I will show towards the end. So you guys' projects, I love receiving the photos of anyone who joins in. So I'll show the projects at the end of viewers who have joined the book club for the last couple of months. So anyone, you're always welcome to join us. But I keep on changing the subject and not showing you what I've done. So not a terribly exciting project, but I do really like it. And I really enjoyed working on it. It was very relaxing. I think exactly the sort of project I needed in what has been a very hectic month. And it is this super cute. It's actually a doily, but I will tell you now how this fit in, or what I based my choice of project on. Now, Lulu's Café, sort of the majority of the the book is set in this cafe restaurant that is run by this lady, Lulu. And I wanted to bring in an element that's sort of linked to the restaurant. So from the beginning, I sort of had decided I wanted to do sort of a placemat, because that gives me the idea of food and tables and people coming together. So I wanted to do a placemat of sorts. Another big theme in the book for me was love. Not just romantic love, but the love of friendship. That really was for me a strong element in the book. And this is why I chose this doily, which is sort of a very nice, you can actually use it as a placemat. It's not terribly small, and I used Rainbow Cotton 8/4. So I used a fingering weight yarn, a yarn weight 1. I did use a 3mm hook, which was the hook that was recommended in the pattern. So I think they did recommend a fingering weight yarn with a 3mm. Normally for amigurumi, I would use a 2.5mm with my rainbow cotton. But for this project, I used 3mm, and it was just lovely. It has these hearts all around, as you can see. Creates this beautiful sort of a star or a sun almost in the middle, and then these hearts all around. Now this is almost the color scheme that they had in the pattern. They had this nice blue, so it looks a little gray I think on camera, but it is a sort of a lighter, it's a type of blue, and then this coral color, which I love. This coral, but I think it worked up beautifully. So you can use this easily on a table. Even if you place a potted plant on it, you can use it for plates, obviously, if you do more than one. But this to me was the representation of the placemat, which sort of represented the cafe for me, and then all the hearts that represented the theme of love throughout the book, all the way right up until the end. So this is what I based my project on. I hope you guys like it. I really, really like how this turned out. I would actually love to make some coasters to go with it. I've got a really nice heart coaster pattern that I think would work really well with this one. But I will link the pattern down below. It was a paid for pattern that I got on Etsy, but I will link it down below for you guys if you wanted to go have a look at it. Whipped up actually really quickly. The color change is not all that bad, although the one thing I don't always like is you do carry the color that you don't work with behind the other color. So the top was really nice. There were no color changes for the heart, you know, this top part of the heart. That is just shell stitches, but not a difficult pattern at all. I really, really enjoyed it. Now for next month's book, as I mentioned, we will be doing, I mentioned it in my previous video, but I will mention it again, and we are going to do A Man Called Ove, I think you actually pronounce it, A Man Called Uwe, by Frederick Bachman. We have done one of his books previously in the book club. We did Brit Marie Was Here. Lovely, lovely book. I enjoyed all of the characters. His books are very much character based, so there's always a very interesting main character and very interesting side characters. So I think you guys will really enjoy A Man Called Uwe. It is a very nice, easy read, and it's just such a heartfelt. I mean, his characters, as with Brit Marie Was Here, Brit Marie was such a likable character in the end. You know, they always come, the characters come with their own quirks, but I loved Brit Marie Was Here, and I think you guys, this will be a fantastic book. Now the reason we chose this book, of course, there's a movie coming out with Tom Hanks playing the lead, but it is called A Man Called Otto. So it's based on this book by Frederick Bachman, and Tom Hanks plays Otto, or Uwe. And I really cannot wait until that movie is released over here in Denmark. I really want to watch it. I'm a big Tom Hanks fan, so I think it's going to be a fantastic movie. Now you guys, down to the highlight of these videos for me, and that is to show off the projects that you guys submit to us. Now, as I talk, because I will be reading it from my phone, as I talk, I will pop onto the screen the photos submitted by you guys that have joined in the book club. Like I say, there's many people who read the books with us, not necessarily doing the projects, and that is absolutely fantastic. We just love having everyone a part of hooking up with books. But if ever you want to join in and you want to submit a photo, you can send it to myself and to Caroline, and we will show it at the end of our videos. But on to the projects submitted by you guys. Now, the first one I received was from Carlotta. Now, she has joined several times before. Her projects are always absolutely fantastic. It's always, almost always amigurumi. This time, and when I saw her project, that is when I really wished that I had done an amigurumi. Carlotta did this absolutely fantastic pattern. It is called Fisherman Doodah by Little Aqua Girl. And she wrote here, I thought he was perfect to represent the kids fishing at the end of the book. Carlotta, as always, I am in absolute awe of your amigurumi. It is beautiful. Thank you so much for submitting it yet again for another Hooking Up with Books. The next project I received was from Cheryl. Now, Cheryl, she also has a YouTube channel. I will link it below. It is called Curly Moose Crochets. Now, Cheryl did this absolutely beautiful pot. Is it a pot plant cover? It is just gorgeous. As you can see, the book Lulu's Café right next to it. So she took inspiration from the cover with this beautiful sunflower square that is turned into a pot plant holder. Beautiful. Cheryl, I absolutely love it. It is so, so well done. Now, Cheryl didn't link the pattern that she used, but Cheryl, if you want to, please let us know if you used a specific pattern, a granny square pattern for this beautiful sunflower that you made. Fantastic, Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining in. Then, you guys, I received a photo from Nova. Now, you will all know Nova very well. She's from Nova Gnome Creations here on YouTube. I will link her channel as well down below. And she made this gorgeous bookmark with a little happy sun and a cloud. And she said that she took inspiration from the theme of the story, which basically is to be finding the sunshine through the clouds. So no matter how dark something is, there is sunshine behind the clouds. And that is absolutely the theme of this book. So this was the Rising Sun applique by Crafted Eyes. And then she said she just double crocheted rows for the actual bookmark. So she did the applique and then just added some double crochet rows to create the bookmark part. And she said she used liquid starch to stiffen the top of the bookmark, which is a technique from Crocheting with Alana that she uses on her snowflake patterns. Nova, thank you so much for submitting this very, very adorable project. It was so fantastic to have you join us. All right, you guys, that is it. That is the projects for this month's Hooking Up with Books. I hope you guys will join us for the next one. It is going to be super fun. I'm sure you will love A Man Called Uwe. I'm looking forward to seeing what Caroline has made for her project. I will link her video down below. And as always, you guys, it's fantastic to be chatting to you. I will be seeing you very soon for the reveal video of Amigurumi Mod. Again, another project that I'm doing with my friend Caroline. So that will be out within the next week. Remember to send your photos of your projects to us by the 21st of April so that we have time to add them into our videos and that you can be eligible for the giveaway that we're doing. but I will set out a reminder again throughout the week. But that will be the next time that you will see me. Until then, you guys, it has been fantastic to chat to you. As always, stay safe and stay crafty.